When I think of the fantasy genre, especially in movies and television, you're not thinking of something dark and gritty. However, I checked out this amazing movie that is haunting me, and it's just beautifully shot, that I am 100% sure you should check out. Well, The Green Knight surprised me a lot. This fantasy film is set in the declining years of King Arthur, where his nephew, who doesn't really have much of an identity or a place in his court, must prove to King Arthur and himself that he's worth of a story that should be told as legend, and the audience follows his journey as he is there to complete a promise. During a Christmas night, a Green Knight comes to King Arthur's court and says, I'm offering you a game. Any of you on the court that decides to provide me with an injury of your choice, I will expect that a year later you come to my green chapel and I will return the same injury to you. King Arthur's nephew, who happens to be the son of Morgana, jumps into action because he sees an opportunity to make a name for himself and does an injury to the Green Knight. And now the audience follows his journey a year later on how he's supposed to figure out who he is. This movie is beautifully shot, and when I said it's dark and gritty, I mean it. We have a lot of wides that are, British landscape that is mute colors and sometimes dark, but at the same time, there's always a pop of color that is such a beautiful contrast, and it works incredibly well in this fantasy genre. I have to be honest, at times there's so much gloom and darkness that you feel the weight of the journey that this knight must go through. It's just a delight to watch. So just from the visual perspective, even in moments when there's some CG, and I think there's CG in a lot of shots, but I couldn't notice it in all of them, it's very well done and very well shot. The acting is amazing. Most of the time, we're there with the main protagonist of the story, and what a beautiful performance. I do not want to spoil anything for you, so I'm going to keep things very contained to certain beats, and I think this movie is not for everybody because of its pacing. Some people might find it a tiny bit slow, but it tells a story, sometimes in a non-linear fashion, about a person that needs to discover who he is and whether he will need to meet other people's expectations, or he can make his own choices to become something that doesn't know what it could be yet. It's a tale of honor and a matter of keeping promise, but also logical choices and fear. The knowledge that there could be some impending doom that you must face because it's the honorable thing to do, and the what ifs. And there's a lot of what ifs presented in beautiful, non-linear fashion, where the knight must find out what could happen if this choice is made versus the not easy choice. That sometimes he chooses the easy one and sometimes he chooses the hard one. There's a lot of magic in this, and it's shown through ritual and different kind of ways that you've used to see magic, but it's definitely there. And sometimes a frame will show something and you're like, did I just saw a man in the shape of a bear standing on top of stairs? And then it cuts to a completely different scenario and you think, did I see what I think? And it makes the audience feel the same way the main character feels. He's doubting what he's seeing and what it means in his journey, and that is just such a beautiful tale of folklore mixed with fiction, mixed with, the lore of King Arthur and this land where magic exists. I think that is a beautiful example on how to do fantasy in a way that is new and different to what we're used to seeing in shows like The Lord of the Rings, for example, where things were bright and magic was seen in a different way. So The Green Knight to me is a beautiful directorial work where a lot of difficult choices were made to show a tale that is worth telling, and the slow pace pays off because at the very end, all of those non-linear pieces, all of those slow moments that allow the character to take in what's happening and allows the audience to think, why is the character thinking and seeing things? It really pays off at the end. The other thing is the score and the way the scenes connect. It works so well together to give you an experience. And nowadays, most movies are not just about telling you a story, they're also about helping the audience go through the same experience as the characters are going through. While this movie achieves it so well, and it works where scenes connect almost seamlessly at the same time, because the script is loosely based on a folkloric poem. There are chapter inserts of what you're about to see that are on pair with the poem, which is also a great way of integrating written work onto the movie, and yet it makes you feel that you're part of the story, and it never detaches the audience from what is happening on screen. Altogether, I enjoyed The Green Knight quite a lot. It is still available in some select theaters and on HBO Max. If you have seen it, please let me know what was your favorite part and why. Try to keep it spoiler free. I'm Jin from Get Me More, and you know where to find me. Thanks for watching.